Welcome to Demoted. Demoted. Ooh, demoted.
We should try to harmonize one of these days.
I have a truly horrendous voice, and so we're going to need to fix it in post.
If you see the Post-its fall off of this wall at any point in today's recording, know that we're in a new space.
New location.
Know that
upgraded.
We've only tried to tape them 500 times, and this is the best it's going to be.
So we're sorry, and if it bothers you, too fucking bad. So,
shall we start with
things we hate?
Things we hate.
Things we hate. Yeah, I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm going to go first because I'm feeling strong. This should go without saying, as many things that I say do.
Totally.
Allergies. I am the guy who's allergic to everything, and I have been since day one. Nothing deathly, to be clear.
You are. Just the embarrassing amount where you get a little sniffly.
Always.
Yeah.
They pricked me with like 65 different little daggers.
Totally.
Allergic to 48 of them.
Yep.
Every type of grass, every type of flower.
Grape, red wine. We tried to have a wine night.
I'm allergic to fruit with edible skin, which I later learned.
Becca's like, Roth can't do fruits with edible skin. I'm like, okay, well, why are we doing a wine night? You're ruining my night.
Well, because I take a antihistamine beforehand.
Got it.
And then the next day, I'm horribly inflamed and miserable.
Of course. Okay.
So allergies, I mean, no
Allergy
shit.
boy.
Yeah, it's not like terribly thoughtful, but that's...
Anyone who loves allergies, DM us.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments.
Totally.
Anyone who's pro-allergy, I'm sure they're out there.
Let us know. I hate having to put your laptop away at takeoff and landing on a flight.
Right.
What's the laptop going to do to me? And what's the laptop going to do to you, ma'am? I have stuff I'm doing.
I was always told that if you had like a phone on or like a laptop out, it was just going to interfere with the systems and you were going to crash and everyone was going to die because of you.
And there's no way, right?
No, I think they disproved that in Mythbusters.
Like, wasn't that disproved? So like, not for safety reasons. Do they think the laptop's going to sever me in half?
I think that's the imagine. Like if they slam the brakes, it just slices right through you and you have like a ghost ship moment.
Dare I say risk I'm willing to take to send that final email?
Say it.
I'll say it.
You are brave.
Okay.
I agree with you though. I never really understood that.
Should we talk about things we love? Because it is in fact Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day. I don't know if you noticed the fit.
If you notice our, pink and red fit, Ross was like, I need to wear these red velvet shoes.
Yeah, I spent way too much money on them to not wear them. And they also hurt so much and I knew I was just going to be seated. So walking in them is miserable.
Totally. Thank God we're in these bean bags.
Thank God.
Let's talk about stuff we love.
Core engaged. You go first.
Well, I don't have a name for it. And if you've been kind of thinking on this in your chair, soaking up your vitamin D in the mornings, let me know. But the Demoted gang.
D-gang.
D-gang. Do we have a name?
We're workshopping that one. D-gang.
I'm hoping we enter into like serious cult territory with Ross and I as your fearless leaders.
Yeah. You got to be real messed up in the head.
Super messed up.
But we would love to have you.
But we love you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
D-gang.
D-gang.
Not sure we're
Demoted gang.
Not sure we're sticking to that, but I love you guys. Thanks for sticking with us through some trials and tribulations from day one.
Yeah, came out the gates hot, didn't we?
Really hot.
Yeah.
So
pissed off our parents, and we pissed off an entire other generation. So we're
our
finding
circle
who our
is getting
people are.
ever so small.
What do I love? Well, I love Trader Joe's soup dumplings. I don't know if you've ever had those.
That little explosion.
Little explosion in your mouth.
It's a gusher with some Asian flair.
It's a savory gusher.
It's a savory gusher.
And I just load up on those things. 6 of them, 90 seconds, game over.
Absolutely game over.
Best snack. I'll eat 4 boxes.
Your tongue's burned.
Yep.
But you enjoyed it.
They cook like unequally. So one's cold and you're like, ugh. And then you had another one scald your mouth. You're like, there it is. Yeah.
That one was hot. I love
soup
Trader
and this
Joe's.
One's boiling.
I love that.
So that's good.
Demoted.
Welcome to Demoted.
Yeah, welcome to Demoted.
This episode is on office relationships.
Uh-oh.
I know you guys really liked that kind of salacious hookup story we shared.
Yeah, you guys are sickos.
Total sickos. So we thought, why not ask you for more?
Double down.
Why not double down? Why not talk about it?
Give the people that tea that they want.
Yeah. So we'll give some really super fun, sexy statistics on office relationships.
Yep.
Because I know you guys were like, we want more stats.
Yeah, we love a good stat.
We want more math. So we're going to start with that.
Yeah.
We'll do some corporate confessions.
We got a lot of corporate confessions today.
Those were all from you, sweet
Some of y'all need
people.
Jesus.
Yep.
I'll say that.
And definitely mine and Ross's differ so greatly because mine are mostly women. So many of mine were like, and now we're married and we have kids on the way.
Yeah.
And Ross's are from sales kickoffs of these
Now she's
dudes.
married with kids on the way.
Exactly. Exactly. So slight misalignment there. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't have any personal experience with this other than other folks in the office. And I come from sales.
Yeah. And you're welcome to share.
You get a bunch of good looking people in one small space, and humans will be humans.
Also, this is not the only time we will be discussing office relationships.
Yes, this is going to come up quite frequently.
We're hoping to do these monthly at least.
Yeah.
Because it's so fun hearing
It's
from
so
you
funny
sickos.
because, you guys are absolute heathens.
I mean, we're talking about work.
Yeah.
This isn't a traditionally sexy thing. It's
Right.
40 hours of your week that most people hate.
Like, if you didn't have the context, you'd be like, oh, they're talking about a sex dungeon.
Totally.
Nope, they're talking about, the office.
The office.
Yep.
My
Talking about
corporate
the
9 to 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with some stats on office relationships because despite your DMs, Ross and I were a little curious, like, does this happen in the real world or is this just, our niche audience?
It sure seemed like
It sure as heck
happens
happens.
a lot.
It sure as heck happens.
Yeah.
So Forbes released that workplace romances show that over 60% of adults have had a workplace romance,
60%.
not including us.
Strong 40.
We're in the strong 40.
Strong 40.
That's crazy.
I'm going to also guess that that's even lower because some people will just don't want to admit it.
Well, and I wonder when this was released because now that Zoom, it's like, are you all sexting
Yeah, right. Over Slack.
over Slack?
Slack
Slacksting?
sexting. Yeah. I was trying to Slacksting. Yeah.
Like there's so many remote workers. I just doubt that that's 60% in the modern day.
Yeah. I'm going to guess this stat is a little dated.
But that's
Because I had
okay.
people in my DMs like, what do you mean, dog? I've never been to an office. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I'm freaking sorry. You ever been to SKO or like a random in-person event?
You've been ripping Vegas recently.
I've been in Vegas recently.
Have you witnessed anything firsthand?
No. Part of my thing is I get out of there.
Yeah.
In the early
Seth
days.
gets back to his hotel.
Seth gets back to his hotel. You never know when the attackers are going to show up. Murderability gets higher with every passing second.
Totally.
So
in the early days, would you just kind of rip it, like go till the break of dawn?
Early days, I would rip it. I would go to the break of dawn. I would find myself in like a room with like the leadership team. It's like 4 a.m. I'm like looking around like, what are we doing
Hang on.
here?
You paid me to be here as a speaker.
Yeah. I just
What
spoke
do
on
you
some real
mean?
shit.
I spoke 12 hours ago.
And we've cleaned out the minibar.
Totally. This stat actually makes sense based off of my DMs. 43% of those who date a colleague end up marrying them.
I believe that too. I had a lot of people being like, so starting an
Second
affair with
kid
my
on the
coworker
way.
boss.
Yeah.
Now we're married.
Totally.
I'm like, all right, I guess it was for something.
I'm like, hang on. I didn't want this feel-good story.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about something else?
Yeah,
a little
something
more risque?
Yeah, something nasty.
Yeah.
We got that too, to be clear.
We do have, Ross will cover that for
The amount
sure.
of times people were like, sorry, not enough text here. Let me go to your DMs and send you just a brick
I
of
know,
text.
fully. 8 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Really trusting of us.
You said 43% who date a colleague end up marrying them. Of those who had a workplace romance, a staggering 40% said they had cheated on a partner with a colleague.
Well, cheating going on, huh?
When you think about it, at least in the olden days, 40 hours in an office with people is like arguably more time than you spend with your actual significant other
Totally.
awake, like not counting sleeping,
That's terrifying.
which is weird.
Very weird. And I think we'll talk about this later, but like work wife, work husband.
Yeah,
I am so not okay with that concept personally. Like
sure.
the people that are like, he's my work husband.
Right.
What do
right.
you mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
He has a real wife.
Yeah.
Don't try to be that.
Yeah.
I'm so against that
Yeah.
that term, and maybe I'll get flamed for that, but I just think it's like not appropriate. If I went to my partner's work event and this woman came up to me and was like, he's my work husband, like rubbing his shoulder, I'd be like,
I'd have a problem with that.
Oh, he's your work husband. Who's
Yeah.
wearing the ring?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And then you throw a punch.
Yeah, and then
legendary
someone's holding my
party.
earrings. Like, I just wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just a
She's
jealous
got a high heel
person.
through the trachea.
Yeah, like
You didn't even know you could kick that high.
these heels.
I guess I was under the assumption, though why would I be? That's really dumb and naive of me to think it's like a platonic thing.
Well, of
where it's like a
course
work
it's
bestie, almost
platonic.
like a work bestie thing.
But
no,
I
but it
just
isn't
don't
always,
like,
apparently.
If you would say, oh, this is my work, he's my work bestie, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you're calling my husband your husband.
Yeah, right.
I don't have a husband also, but I'm so
Yeah.
fired up about it.
Right, dust it off, get the gloves out, and just start
I'm ready to
throwing.
go in case that happens.
It's questionable. I mean, I would assume most people who are referring to that don't go straight to their partner and are like, this is my work wife, my work husband.
It's their secret little affair.
It's their secret little,
Their 40-hour week
confidant.
affair.
Yeah.
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 Who knows?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not on my watch. That's for sure.
Tyler and Mason, those are my work husbands.
Yeah, you did have a couple
the
work
boys.
husbands. The absolute
boys.
boys.
So just a couple of stats to rip on top of that. 35% of people don't report their relationship to their manager or their employer.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I'm not reporting something unless like there's a ring on my finger.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So nearly 30% of couples with workplace relationships create a breakup plan. So it's like a professional prenup of, so when this goes south, and it will.
And it will. We need to do XYZ.
Yeah.
And swiftly.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the breakup plan. That's very corporate. Let's make a Gantt chart for kind of the timing and the resources required.
I don't knock it. I mean, you should have a plan for everything. So what does that mean? Like, we're not going to make eye contact anymore. What if you're on the same team?
If I see you in the kitchen, one of us must leave. Yeah, I guess what would a breakup plan entail?
I don't know.
If there's a work happy hour, we are not allowed to drink around each other.
Yep. That seems reasonable.
These all seem crazy, but like, sure.
Yeah, that
seems like a lot of red tape.
Yeah, this is the downside. And then like if it goes south, then like
maybe all the people who end up getting married are like, it would just have been so bad if we didn't.
Yeah.
They're like, we should just really
they were
seal
so
the deal.
deep.
Yeah.
They were so deep. Well, make a choice, live with it.
Enough on statistics. Well, this is more of a guessing game.
Yeah.
So each of our papers in front of us has different tables in front of it of like of office romance by industry, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to make you guess which industry has the most romance in it. Office romance, broadly speaking.
Okay. Industry with the most romance. Let me think of 3 industries just in general. Just off the dome. Let me
just throw a few out there. So I guess
3 industries.
So
okay.
I'm going to throw them out there. So
no, are you actually okay? You give me multiple choice.
Yeah, I'll give you multiple choice, or which one you think is
okay.
higher.
Well, let me think. I mean, sales has to be high.
It is.
Okay. I just based on your following and the stuff that you kind of witness on the day to day.
Yeah.
Sales has to be high. And
it's high.
There's a lot of like in person with sales.
Right.
I feel like you're on the sales floor, you're interacting.
Yep.
That would make sense to me.
Yep.
Engineering, IT, I'm going to put kind of low.
Yeah.
And that's just because you can do an engineering job fully remote.
They're kind of nerds.
They're kind of
nerds. Let's just come out and say it. They're kind of nerds.
Which maybe, that would breed more deviance and kind of.
Right. So to quote BuzzFeed, the answer may surprise you.
Like who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I feel like finance would be like middle kind of. I think there's misalignment between the women who work in finance and the men who work in finance. Like that wouldn't be a good partnership.
Yeah, dude heathens.
They're kind of like all savages and they might need a partner who's a little more subdued.
And a lot of them are spending 80, 90 hours in the office.
Totally.
So they're going through it.
From like scandal, I might put like government, like high. Is politic? It's
very high.
What is the industry? It's politics.
Okay, so I'll give you like the top, or I'll give you a few. So fashion is number 1, which like.
Okay.
Fashion. So I'm going to like assume models are kind of lumped in there, and it's just a bunch of gorgeous people wearing clothes, and like it's a very small industry. So everybody's
maybe also super in person. Like you're going to runways, you're feeling and touching the clothes.
Right. 2 is politics. So you're right.
Okay.
I don't know. 3 is transportation, logistics, blah, blah, blah. There's a few down.
Transportation and logistics.
I don't, nothing fires me up like trains.
Please explain.
I don't know. I don't even know what that industry is. Well, so I guess these are all high. So these are percentage of people within an industry who have been in 1 or more office romances. So fashion was 83% of people have had an office romance.
That's kind of crazy.
People polled. Politics was 80.
That's embarrassing if you haven't hooked up with someone.
Yeah, at that point you're kind of, it's like you're get involved,
you're
dog.
the extreme minority. Yeah, get involved.
So sales is 68. Engineering is also 68, but a slightly higher percentage of engineering than sales. I don't know if I buy it because I think salespeople are liars.
I think salespeople are
totally
hiding
liars.
it. They're totally hiding it.
Never would have.
I didn't realize if we ranked these by liars, like maybe politics would be high.
Yeah, exactly. True. Politics might be 99% if we don't instead of 80.
Okay. Now
HR is on there though. It's 67. Okay.
HR. Okay. I mean, you make the rules, you got to break them. Yeah. Okay. So now workplace affairs by industry. I'll have you guess.
I want to go like attorneys.
So affair with a colleague.
I want to say attorneys.
So
I'm going to go based off. So like I read this in Business Insider a long time ago when I was looking up the industries with the most psychopaths.
Oh, of course you looked that up.
Well, because I was like, where's sales? And it was like CEOs, attorneys, police, and then sales. So sales 100%.
Sales is
100%.
number one.
So,
Attorneys is not on here. There's like no law related thing.
Wow.
I'm so sorry to break that to you.
Wow, that is shocking
But
to me.
15% have an affair with a colleague in sales.
15%?
Again,
and that's who's admitting
who's
it.
making these tables?
Is politics even an option on there?
Of course not. That would make way too much sense.
And we're talking industries?
Industries. Armed forces is on here.
The armed force.
4%.
Oh, that seems like that would be
That's
high.
actually, that's the lowest
Like
on this
stereotype.
list.
The armed...
But 4% of the armed forces have affairs.
Is consulting even on there?
No, once again, that would make too much sense. Okay, here's property construction is one.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there.
You wouldn't, that's not like an industry.
Not even
like
that's
top
not
of
an
mind.
industry.
Okay,
I don't know what that is.
hospitality events management,
Okay, I can see
kind of
that.
middle top.
Yeah.
Below sales is teachers, training, and education,
Teachers?
which I feel like teachers do not really get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Certainly not the ones I grew up with.
It's Miss Brown.
Yeah. Miss Hanson.
Yeah. Mine were not. My teachers weren't getting any, but these teachers are.
These teachers are.
So that's for sure. Third is healthcare. Rip
Healthcare.
that mask off.
Yeah.
Nurse.
Yeah.
Ready
Nurse,
to get
doctor,
it.
supply office.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that kind of makes sense.
And again, our favorite industry that makes a ton of sense, transport logistics.
Transport and logistics.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, just like top of
Salacious, as you say.
So salacious. All these stats and tables are actually all data released from Forbes.
Forbes
So
and business
as much
Insider.
as we rip on it, that's these are coming from reliable sources in my mind.
Very reliable, incredibly reliable. And not to mention, if you guys notice any continuity issues with the video here, it's because these keep fucking falling. God damn it, we lost another dark blue.
We can't. That's okay.
There's nothing we can do.
Don't look behind us. Look right into our eyes.
Yeah, there's
stay with us.
Simply nothing we can do.
Stay
to fix
with
this.
us. Corporate confessions.
Corporate confessions.
For those of you who might be on a social clip, might not have seen the podcast before, we want to paint this picture very clearly here. Ross and I will be handed our phones from Annie and Becca sitting over here, to which we will have our Instagrams logged in.
Yep.
Ross and I will then proceed to read DMs that we were given from you all.
Yep.
We each posted a questions box saying, describe your office relationships or your office hookups. So when you see us looking down at our phones reading, that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. They're not real from us. They're real from all of you savages.
Have to DM you this because it's kind of long. I hooked up with 2 guys in my office. One was superior, one was my level, a few times during my first year at the company. One of the relationships started after I interned and before I started full-time with the superior. At the company holiday party, I ended up punching both of them in the face with the office managing partner and HR as witnesses. Lol, not condoning physical violence, but those men treated me like shit and they deserved it a little. Anyway, I didn't get fired because both of them told HR they didn't blame me for punching them. Fast forward 3 years later, the older one has left the company and I ended up bringing him as my date to the 2023 holiday party. Ha 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 ha, YOLO.
This is so toxic.
This is so toxic and unbelievably not okay on any level, but I love it.
That is so fun. She was like, yeah, they both admitted they deserved to be punched. And they did. And then I still...
She's like, as I stated, I wasn't wrong.
Yeah. I wasn't wrong. They weren't wrong. And then I took one to the holiday party later
One didn't bug me enough to cut off communication forever. So I took him to the holiday party. Started a new job with a cute coworker. No wedding ring in sight. We were vibing over lunch one day and he casually drops that he's married and has 2 kids. Obviously I friend zone him, but he proceeds to send me more sporadic 1 a.m. you up? Smirk emoji DMs on LinkedIn for 4 months. We were work from home for an office reorg, so I didn't have to see him and I never responded. Back in office, we get assigned to a project together and he says, I'll run point on communication. Apparently she's not the best at responding to messages, especially if it's after hours.
Wow.
Hang on. I hate this man.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. Throwing personal digs over that.
You're going to dig her when you're the one married with kids and she's not responding to your you up text?
Through LinkedIn? The LinkedIn you up?
I need to find this man and ruin his life.
Send his LinkedIn, please.
Please, we'll put it right here. No,
I'll connect. I'll connect. Really quick, I'm just going to give a quick aside. So I polled people on my Instagram on how many had hooked up with a coworker before. 61% said yes.
No way.
Yeah. 61% said yes.
That's kind of aligned with the stat we read. That's
now,
crazy.
14% said they married them. 14%, that's a lot.
Look at you pulling stats straight from the IG.
Straight from the people. Okay.
That's better than Forbes. I was hooking up with a coworker back when American Idol was new. So we would message on our internal messenger system, pre-teams, but same concept, about American Idol. But we were actually talking about sex. That's smart.
That is smart. Nice code.
Nice
way
to work in code.
Yeah. Somebody's going to learn that and they'll be like, oh, we should talk in American Idol.
You down for American Idol tonight?
Yeah. Show me your talents. My first gig as an SDR. My AE was no showing, 2 meetings a day with no explanation, showing up at 10 or 11 a.m. and didn't give a shit. Was pissing me off. I went to the director of sales, after not getting any response from him or improvement. She said she will talk to him, but she 100% was defending him. Went on for weeks. Turns out they were together and had been for months. She was closing deals for him. VP finds out, confronts her. She was adamant that it was a rumor, goes as far to fire her boyfriend to prove it. Come to find out, he didn't close a single deal for himself for 4.5 months. She was doing it all for him. Still have no clue how they pulled that off.
That's so great. I would so fire my boyfriend to prove a point.
Yeah, that's like a sugar mama play, too. She's closing all the deals. She's the sales savage.
She's like, you don't have a job anymore.
I'm literally doing this for you.
You don't have a voice.
Yeah.
You can't speak on this. Bye.
Bye.
Here's a DM I got about office relationships. OMG, I used to hook up with a guy I worked with. First time, I was so drunk. I don't even remember it. But then I became more of a regular booty call type situation. I didn't want anyone at work to know, so I avoided him in the office, even though we were both in accounting and worked a couple desks away from each other. Okay, dirty accountants.
Yeah, wow.
It was mostly just hooking up late at night, sometimes on weekdays. And then I'd make sure we go to work separately. If we shared an Uber, I would make sure to walk in at least a few minutes after him. Eventually, I caught feelings, and he ghosted me and started hooking up with another girl who we work with at the same name. That is so dark.
Don't catch feelings.
That is so dark.
That's dark.
That's just uncommon. A general relationship tip. If it's only kind of late at night, it might not be
that serious.
Yeah. It might not be that serious.
One of the people involved does not want it to be that serious.
No. Wow. I love that story though. For all the girls who have gotten ghosted, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, this is a Christmas party one. Had a Christmas party where the whole company got hammered. No shit. The VP of sales grabbed a sales rep's nuts and said he had the biggest package in the whole company. I got too lit and banged my BDR. Dated her for 2 years.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Just nothing like the VP of sales just grabbing a sales rep's nuts and be like, you're the biggest package in the whole company.
That's terrifying. Even seeing that, not even being involved in that in any way, but just witnessing that, I'd be like, is this...
Looking around at everyone's looking at everyone like they can't decide if they're supposed to cheers
maybe,
or if they're horribly concerned. Okay.
Okay, who's next?
I'm going to the buffet.
Oh my God.
Walk away from this.
That's terrifying.
This is an old one I surfaced. I'm just going to read it right now.
Please.
I'm a sales manager and would go to lunch with one of the new admin staff girls right when she started working. Apparently, she didn't know the, quote, good places to eat around the office. It started with her giving me hand jobs on the way back from lunch while I was driving and me nutting in my pants and having to deal with that the rest of the day. We graduated from HJ's to smash in the backseat of my car. A few weeks went by and one day she got up and moved to Miami, got married to her ex-boyfriend, and now has 2 kids. This guy,
and my pants are still soiled.
His pants are officially cardboard. You could snap them. Dude, in your pants, like... You are a grown adult.
What do you mean?
How old are you?
When does this happen?
Over the pants HJ.
I don't think I've ever seen a coworker's car. I'm dead serious.
And I don't even know if I'd get in it if I did know.
And you're getting in the car doing all this?
Well,
I can't. You guys are so deviant.
It ended okay. She moved to Miami and got married to her ex-boyfriend. Now has 2 kids.
Good for her. Thank God she got out of there, honestly.
Yeah. Big red flag guy who wants the OTP HJ in the car and then walks around the rest of the day with his pants just soiled.
Huge red flag.
That was one of the biggest red flags I could ever think of.
I could ever possibly think of. Oh my God. I have a corporate confession I'll read. This one coworker and I traveled together for a work trip, just us 2. First of all, crazy. That's called a honeymoon.
Yeah.
After work one day on the trip, he invited me to go watch basketball game with him. Watch basketball game. Actually, it says that.
To go watch basketball.
I watched basketball game with him at a bar. And I said, yes, because what else am I going to do? It started out normal, but then he started complimenting me, saying I seemed like the coolest person on the team, etc. He then asked me what was my type and essentially flirted with me the entire night. He was very drunk. I was on the verge of drunk and tipsy. We then ended up making out at the bar, which is wild because it wasn't that type of bar. I sobered up and was like, all right, the game's over. Let's go back to the hotel. We get in the car and he makes out with me and chokes me in the car, like in a hot way, not the murder way. I was like, well, this escalated quickly. Eventually we stopped and he insinuated we'd sleep together. And I was like, that's not what's happening. This dude is on my team to this day. We've never addressed it.
And that's for the best.
Not in a murder way, kind of a hot way.
Not in a murder way.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's fair. Not in a murder way.
Nope.
That is actually an important detail.
That is. Thank you so much.
Now I can see it. Now I know who this guy is. How many people are just sitting at their desk these days, just not talking about it? Whatever it is, just not talking about it.
So many we're not going to address this.
We're just not even going to address this.
We're not going to address this.
All right, here's a wild corporate confession that was submitted to me. I helped my best guy friend get a job at my company. He moves up from BDR to AE. A chick on my AM team, that's account management team, is, quote, going through a lot, and went to him for guidance about her divorce and 2 kiddos. Mind you, he is a 35-year-old dude, never married. My husband and I go out to dinner with my friend and girl in mid-divorce, who's in the mid-divorce. The husband was calling every 5 minutes, screaming matches on the phone at the table. She's telling us, quote, can't wait to finish this up at court. My friend and her bang. She said she shook like a toothbrush. Like, she said she shook like an electric toothbrush. That was 2 years ago, and she is still married. So they never finished it up in court.
I am going to be honest, I've never heard that phrase before.
Shook like an electric toothbrush.
Have you heard that?
No.
Is that something that's like said? I hooked up with a guy coworker I always thought was hot on Halloween while I was fully dressed as Guy Fieri. I, a girl, now joke with him that I'm the hottest guy in the office.
That's funny.
I was Guy Fieri one year, and I loved it.
We got to get a picture of that.
We will get a picture of it. Yeah, I think we're
going to go right here in the middle of the screen.
We're putting it in the college episode as well.
Oh, all right, here's another one. I was an AE. I was an AE.
Just a
He was a BDR and like 2 years younger than me. Okay. Left our company holiday party in an Uber together, and his boss, my old boss before I was promoted, asked where we were going. I drunkenly yelled, where do you think we're going, Ryan?
Stop.
Big yikes. Big yikes.
That's something Annie would say to you.
I left the state and moved to California.
Where do you think we're going, Ryan? Stop calling attention to this.
Yeah, I mean,
that's hilarious.
Can they not take an Uber to Pound Town? Is that a crime?
Is that a crime? Where do you
They're
think?
2 adults.
Where do you think we're going, Ryan?
Making childish choices, but 2 adults.
Stop being on my ass, Ryan. Should we do a quick rapid fire of the short ones?
Yeah, let's do a quick rapid fire.
I had sex on the CFO's desk after hours, not with the CFO.
2 reps had fake client meetings and expensing travel and hotels as cover for their affair.
The day my boss and I quit, I told him I loved him, and we had sex that night and dated for 3 years. Good for you. Sad it ended after 3.
Yeah, good run though. Took a client out to lunch to close an end-of-year deal. Back of her SUV, check in the parking lot. Unfortunately, she didn't have any signing authority. Face palm. Oh.
Here's one that's a little more advice-driven. Don't get your honey where you get your money.
That's real. Unfortunately, all of these people were getting their honey and their money in the same place.
Thank you, Cassie.
Yeah. This one just says, I married my SDR.
Good.
Love.
I've been sleeping with my boss for 4 years, and she's happily married with 2 kids.
Dated a guy 25 years older than me from another state/office. He liked being weed on. Yeah. I read that as like...
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Some people are into pee-pee stuff. Look, I'm not neither
Ross,
here nor there.
Please.
No, I don't have any comment. I don't have any comment.
You better stop your comment right there.
I was done. It's done. My boss, male, had an affair with his boss, female. Felt like I walked in on my parents.
Oh my God. The IT guy broke my computer intentionally to meet me at work. Now my husband.
Wow.
Savage play.
Things people do for love.
A girl in our office has slept with 8 different employees. That's like 10% of our company. Small company.
That is a lot of blackmail.
What are you going to do?
That's a lot of blackmail.
What are you going to do?
All right. SDR throwback when role play turned into actual role play and 3 of us ended up banging.
How much role play is done in a sales job?
A lot in sales
because it's like cold calling.
You cold call practice
play.
with people. Yeah. Your manager will be like, all right, call me. And it's always like, ring, ring. Hey, it's so-and-so. And then your manager kind of like pushes back and you practice like.
I'm picturing like, sell me this pen.
Yeah, kind of.
A guy I was crushing on ended up in an adjoining room on a bus trip, and we adjoined.
They adjoined. Good word. Good word choice there. I'm an AE and my GVP gave me an HJ, made me nut during keynote at SKO. What? What is wrong with you?
Why is everyone so bored and horny?
Who's getting an HJ during a keynote?
Please. We were just at a keynote at Dreamforce. Like, if that was happening somewhere in the crowd,
I don't even know. I don't even know what I would like. Talking about AI, nothing gets me bricked up like AI.
This has nothing to do with work. I once dated a guy with a missing canine tooth. It wasn't cute, but he was a decent lover.
Equal opportunity lovers. We love
This
that.
has nothing to do with work.
It has nothing to do with anything.
This is not a dating podcast.
Someone just wanted to say some weird shit. Okay. This is the last one I have. And this one says anonymous, please, as if we're not going to make all these anonymous. What do you think? We want to out you people?
Like,
I don't
please.
even want to know who you are.
I don't.
These are anonymous for us.
You're scaring me. I don't know if I want you following me after this stuff. I'm scared.
This one says, hooked up with our CEO after lunch meeting, which turned into day drinking, then night drinking, and then going on the hunt for blow, as that often does happen. When he took my pants off and started going down on me, he said, He said, quote, I've been dying to taste you since the day I first saw you. Long story short, 3 years later, they did me dirty, so I sued them for sexual harassment, and we settled out of court after my attorney read this quote to their general counsel. I'm done. I might just jump off this building.
I can't with that one.
What is wrong with people?
I can't with that one. Imagine being in the court of law and reading it. It felt like we're in an intimate, like very private office setting. If we were in the court of law reading that, please.
I honestly need a shower. I need a shower.
I need a shower.
I can't stop reading that quote.
That was amazing. Thank you, everyone, for listening to not our corporate confessions, but your corporate confessions.
Your corporate confessions, you freaks.
Thank you for sharing them. And I have to take a little bit of a break from kind of just like hearing that from you guys.
I want to take a bath in Purell.
Completely.
I want to bleach my whole body.
So scared.
I want a Men in Black just blank my memory for the last 45 minutes.
I'm so scared.
Really quick, should we just give our opinions, like our quick pros and cons of relationships in the office?
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard because dating's hard these days, you know? And if you're if you're with someone 40 hours a week, you're both single and you're both vibing and you like work at the same company, it's like very hard for me to see why that wouldn't make sense in the moment.
Totally.
I'm not going to talk down on office relationships. I think they're great.
And I think like you said, where do you spend the majority of your life?
Totally.
You know, at work or doing work. Obviously not so much during the remote world. Like that's not how it goes. But when you're around just the same people for a shitload of time, like that's where it goes. And there's obviously right and wrong ways to do it. Maybe don't show a bunch of PDA. Don't like make it a whole thing in your office.
I mean, don't do these disgustingly deviant things that you're DMing us about. Maybe just start with like a date. I don't know.
Yeah, date sounds good. Maybe don't just like go pee on each other. That seems like
let's start with like drinks.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. And then see where it goes.
See where it goes. And then just honestly think about the consequences of it failing and what that looks like.
And there's
as long as you consider that.
There's such a difference between like someone on your direct team that you're with every day. That is terrifying.
Or someone you report to.
Like picture a Hinge date going wrong and you have to actually be with that person in person, sitting next to them every day.
There is a high risk.
Super high risk.
It sounds fun and exciting and awesome at first, but love's going to love and love's going to be out there and people are going to do people stuff and people really do be fucking dough.
People going to pee.
People going to pee.
Well.
So anyway, all I'm saying is maybe do a SWOT analysis. Maybe just decide.
A little SWOT analysis.
If it's worth it.
Yeah. Pros, cons.
Pros, cons.
Promoted or demoted, maybe, which is a good segue into our segment. Do we like it? Do we not like it?
Do we not like it? Yeah. Promoted, demoted.
PDA in the office.
Demote.
That's so inappropriate.
Like just.
I barely like PDA at a bar.
Yeah.
Like, please don't do it in the office. Oh my God.
Like, just not the place.
No.
Someone's going to yell at us for that. Demoted.
Someone's going to yell at us for that?
I know. I don't know. Someone's going to matter.
Are we not allowed to say, please don't kiss a colleague in the office? Or are we?
Of course we can say that. That's my opinion. And I'm not sorry for my opinion.
I don't know if we're allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah, fair. All right. Well, mandatory work relationship declaration to HR. Promoted or demoted?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just so dicey and you like have to and you almost save yourself by like saying it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a weird like Facebook define the relationship thing.
Yeah.
We're like, unless we've been dating for actually 2 years and we're dead serious about this, I'm not going to tell anyone.
Yeah, I'm personally probably not.
You're going to demote it because you're a lying salesperson?
Because I'm a piece of shit salesperson. I think it's one of those things that the context matters. We talk a lot about context.
So much context.
And it's more of these.
I hope all these post-its keep falling. It's so fun.
It's like
snow. They're like brushing against our hair and our head. There's probably a post-it just like sticking up if you're only listening on audio.
But it's like your management, you're managing separate teams. It's actually a pretty easy thing to report. Like, I think I'm just more scared, like the closer I am to that person in proximity and team and so forth. Obviously, like if it's a manager, if there's like a subordinate sort of situation there, you're better off just reporting it because you're also at risk if it goes south and someone starts throwing things around like it wasn't.
Yeah.
You're just at risk.
Totally.
So
I think in that case, you should definitely.
You should definitely do it. You should definitely report it. But
Yeah.
I think the majority of people won't. And I don't know. It's so situation by situation.
I know.
I don't think
I don't want to run the risk of like my manager like judging me or like looking down on me.
Right.
In any way outside
Right.
of like my work performance.
Right.
So if that's going to impact that in any way, I'm keeping it to myself.
Yeah. And I'm like, if things do get serious, probably, and like you're in it to win it and not some weird, like, I'm probably going to report it. Assuming you handle it professionally and you're just like, yeah, like this isn't a thing at the office and nobody really knows like they just kind of know, but it's not
Totally.
like you're not doing PDA.
You're not PDAing it. Okay. So
I don't know.
we'll promote declaring.
I'm going to promote it.
To
It's
HR.
probably the right thing to do. Most people won't do it.
None of you, I think, are doing the right thing right now.
No one that we just read is doing the right thing.
Any. Yeah, exactly. So
don't declare
who
the
am I?
deviant shit
Who am
you
I
do.
to say?
Yeah.
All right. Sexting over Slack, aka Slexing.
Slexing. I'm going to demote it.
I do this Gen Z feedback series where I'm like, so we can see what you put in Slack. You know that.
And that's the
right?
reason.
Yeah.
They can see all.
There's this crazy thing called texting. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Right. Just take
If
it
you're-
outside the company software.
If you're
You know what I
willing
mean?
to be saying these things to each other, let's take it offline.
Yeah.
Let's take it offline.
Yeah.
Demoted.
Yeah. Or speaking code like that other person did. American Idol code.
So, yeah. You got to develop a whole language
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
That seems like a lot of investment of time.
All right. Promoted, demoted, ghosting a coworker.
I'm so anti-ghosting.
Yeah, just generally.
Like I
it's
feel
cowardly.
It's so cowardly.
It's cowardly.
What I would promote is the anti-ghost.
Yeah.
In any inside or outside of work. Hey, I don't think I see this going any further. Thanks, like had a great time.
Nothing
You
but
know.
respect.
Nothing but respect. If you're ghosting people as a grown ass adult,
See them in the office, you're like, and then you just nothing but do you like go in for like a
I
like
think
a dap
I
sort of
think
situation?
No, I don't
like a
think
fist bump?
that's on the list here as something that I would. No.
In the middle of
fist
your
bump.
anti-ghost though, if you're like, so anyway, I'll see
The
you.
anti-ghost doesn't have to happen in person, please. This can be done over text
Oh,
or
what
Slack.
do I know? The hell do I know?
You've been so out of the game for so long.
I've been out of the game for too long. Yeah,
too much.
You're right. You're right.
Promoted-
I just figure in person, you're just like, it's like, I don't know. It's how I'd want to be fired instead of over Zoom.
Well,
Say,
you're
"To my
also
face!"
there's a 10-year gap between us. Like I'm not going to anti-ghost in person. Maybe
Yeah.
you would as a 35-year-old.
Okay.
Who knows? These are
I'm
all
34 for another month.
these are all hypothetical.
Okay.
Promoted or demoted? Zoom Riz.
High promote.
High promote.
If you got Zoom Riz,
Could you perform a bit of Zoom Riz for me right now? Ross has crossed his leg with his velvet red shoe kind of facing the camera.
my back. So much Riz. So much flexibility.
I
Zoom
wouldn't
Riz.
say that whatever I just saw there was Riz, but I do appreciate you giving it a good shot.
Right.
You know, I appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah,
we
well-
will promote Zoom Riz generally, not necessarily Ross's Zoom Riz.
Yes. When your L5 S1 has completely dissolved,
You lose all Riz ability.
your back just simply doesn't bend.
That's fair.
So
That's
Riz
fair.
becomes more difficult. Oh God, crossing like okay. Promoted, demoted. Sex with sales prospects.
I'm not in sales, so I'll let you take this one.
The answer is sometimes.
Oh my God.
What if you're single and they're single and you know
You want to get that deal signed?
you want to? Yeah.
What
close
if it
deals,
what if
close
it
deal.
hurts?
It's, everything hurts in sales.
Like what if
You're
that
used to it. You're so used to it.
What if it doesn't help? Okay.
Well, then that's just a completely separate thing. I mean,
That's on you, dog.
I'm assuming you're doing it to close the deal.
Okay. A lot of assumptions being made.
A lot of assumptions, a lot of context
assumptions,
required that we
lot
don't
of-
have. But
lot
I'm
of
just
context
saying.
required.
I'm just saying.
We will promote it.
We will promote it because you got to hit your numbers somehow.
That
And I'm
is
under the assumption
so
you are single and they are too.
I'm demoting it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm
just
going
saying
on
if
the record demoting it.
two single adults want to do that and they just happen to be negotiating over something, that's leverage one
They
way or
happen
another.
to be negotiating a six-figure deal that could make or break your end of quarter.
Yeah.
That's a different story. Okay.
Both sides know that in up front.
Totally.
So they made the choice.
Promoted or demoted? Flirting with HR at the holiday party. Sure.
Sure.
I'd want to be flirted with if I was in HR.
Yeah. Anyone to notice me or like not just hate me right off the bat would be nice.
I love flirting. I'll promote flirting like across the board.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be more than that. All right. Promoted, demoted. Thirst trapping at the company offsite. Beach location.
Okay. This is terrifying to me. So if I have to be in a bikini in front of my coworkers, like, would you do President's Club in Hawaii?
Yeah.
and you're literally in a swimsuit in front of your colleagues.
Yeah.
Deloitte would never.
Salespeople don't give a shit.
Like I went to an intern conference and it was at Orlando, and these interns are running around in their bikini tops, like playing chicken fights on top of guys' shoulders. Like, hang on, is this your spring break trip in college or is this your full-time job?
That's like low-key President's Club in a nutshell.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Crazy talk.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want my colleagues to see me in a bikini, including my one employee and friend.
it's called company culture.
Thirst trapping at the company offsite. I'm demoting.
I'm not declaring it's a thirst trap just because you're in a bathing suit.
And that's woke king.
That's
of
in
you.
the woke king in the eyes of the beholder. If
That's
that
fair.
comes off as a thirst trap and, you like what you see, I can't stop. I can't stop it.
Bikini was your choice.
Do I work out? You tell me, dog.
You, before your Hawaii trip, you were trying to thirst trap. Okay.
I was trying to thirst trap.
LinkedIn as a dating app, promoted or demoted?
Demoted.
Please.
Please.
Please find another means.
There's a million other means. Meanses.
I'm begging you to find another way. Find another in.
LinkedIn creep is like a truly dark.
Have you heard stories of that?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I did a little series, I don't know, a couple of years ago, where women were sending me different shit they were getting on LinkedIn. And my mind was blown.
That's crazy.
Because no one ever sends me that stuff.
I'm sorry you haven't gotten to experience that.
No, I know.
Gosh.
But it's pretty bad. I mean, it is. I mean, it's always bad when it's creepy and weird. But LinkedIn is just a whole other. It's like, dog. That's you. You ain't hiding behind anything here.
No.
This is a professional networking site. Nah, we can argue whether how professional, blah blah blah. But dog.
Please.
Hard demote.
Hard demote.
Hard
demote. That was promoted or demoted.
That was promoted or demoted. Those are pretty good.
Thank
I
you for
enjoyed
tuning
those.
in. Did a lot of segments
A lot of segments today.
This was quite fun.
But as always, if you have workplace confessions, you want advice, you want to just send us your weird stories and tell us about the dude missing a tooth, I don't know. Please just email us at contact@demotedpodcast.com.
Upgrade.
And you can DM us and whatever. And so
We'll see you next time on Demoted.
Demoted.